Chapter 276 Lambs and Wolves, in Muslim Societies, Part 11. Hassan Mahjoub al-Hilali, Mu'allana Sheikh Marzouk, Fatah, the Man of Wonders, and other three tough guys were sitting in one corner of the Sharia court. On the other corner were quietly sitting Intisar, Sami, Salah, Mona, Walid, Badaria, and Intisar's mother. Some few unknown people are scattered here and there. Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin Taha delayed his coming for an hour. It is very long waiting for the concerned parties. At 11:30 am, the courtman announced the arrival of the virtuous Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin Taha. His jury came an hour earlier to him. When the virtuous Mu'allana entered the courtroom, everybody stood on his feet. His Honor is wearing a white pajama, turban, and shawl. In his right hand he is holding a grey color prayer beads and on his left hand a green color copy of the Quran. Before he sat, his eyes surveyed the audience for a while. When he sat, the rest of the people sat after him. He turned to his right and whispered some secret words in the ears of the Mu'allana sitting near him. After the whispering is over, the two Mu'allanas laughed happily. After that he lifted up his hand and the whole court is dead silence. A courtman stood before the virtuous Mu'allanas and read loudly the following charge sheet. The virtuous Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin Taha and his reverend jury, Mr. Hassan Mahjoub al-Hilali, brings before you a complaint against his lawful wife Intisar Ibrahim Mustafa Gabir. The said wife has refused to live with him and attached herself to another man by the name of Sami Osman al-Tayyib. This man has no any blood relationship with Intisar except that he claims to be her lover and fiancé. Hassan seeks your justice according to the wisdom and knowledge that the great Allah has entrusted you with. When the above charge sheet is read, some of the accused raised their hands and voices in objection, but Mu'allana took his stick and stroked the table violently. The noise died away quickly. The courtman came forward and announced loudly the name of Sami Osman al-Tayyib. Sami stood up and walked toward the courtman. When he reached him, the courtman took his oath. "Are you the said Sami Osman al-Tayyib?" asks Mu'allana loudly. "Yes, I am," replies Sami. "Have you encouraged Intisar Ibrahim Mustafa Gabir to leave her husband Hassan Mahjoub al-Hilali and attach herself to you?" "The question is wrong, I will not answer it." "Answer yes or no," shouts Mu'allana. "Intisar is not married to Hassan. She is my fiancé. I didn't ask you to tell us that." "My question again, have you encouraged Intisar to leave her husband Hassan and attach herself to you?" "This is false claim and false accusation." "Thank you, sir. Will you please go to your seat?" The courtman called out the name of Intisar and asked her to come forward. Sami refused to move from his place. The courtman asked him to go to his place, but Sami didn't respond. The courtman tried to push him, but Sami pushed him back. Mu'allana waved his hands to some policemen. 5 of them came running toward Sami and without talking to him they just carried him on their shoulders and took him out of the courtroom. After 5 minutes they returned back without Sami. The courtman called the name of Intisar 3 times but she didn't come forward. Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin Taha pointed his hand toward her. 2 huge policewomen stood up and walked toward Intisar. Salah understood their intention and stood too and went to Intisar and whispered in her ears. Intisar responded to his advice and walked out of her seat. Mona and Badaria took Intisar's hands and led her forward. Followed behind them are the 2 policewomen. When they reached the courtman, the policewomen returned to their seats. "Will you please put your right hand on the Holy Quran?" says the courtman. Intisar is reluctant to do so, but Mona took her hand and placed on the Quran. "Please repeat after me," says the courtman. "I swear by the great Allah that I will say the truth, all the truth and nothing but the truth." Intisar didn't repeat the oath, instead she continued to weep and shed tears. The courtman repeated his request but Intisar didn't respond. The courtman and everybody in the court hall looked expectantly to Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin Taha. "At least," says Mu'allana Abdul Mohsin, "in reverence to Allah and His gracious book, say the oath." Intisar didn't respond to his words but continued to weep and pour out her tears. Well, at least tell us, why don't you want to live with your husband Hassan? Because he is not my husband, screams Intisar, and I hate him. I hate him more than anyone in this world except you. I hate you more because you have killed my sister and brother. You are a murderer. You supported and encouraged the kidnap, rape, and murder of my sister Firdaus. You are full of hypocrisy and wickedness. You supposed to be judged and condemned for murdering an innocent girl as my sister. While she is screaming out those words, Intisar is pointing her finger at Maulana Abdul Mohsin Taha. Everybody in the court is astonished by her courage and boldness. Most of the audience stood on their feet. Some had put their hands on their mouths and heads. Intisar turned to Hassan and pointed her finger to him. I challenge you and this corrupted judge that you dare touch me. Guards, shouts Maulana Abdul Mohsin, take this accursed girl and throw her out of this courtroom. In response to his order, the two huge policewomen ran to Intisar and dragged her by her shoulders out of the court hall. Intisar's mother, Mona, Badaria, and Walid followed them. Salah alone is left behind. Maulana Abdul Mohsin Taha is very much annoyed by Intisar's words. He is breathing with difficulty for some times. The policewomen took Intisar out of the court and prevented her from coming in. This is the result of the wrong upbringing, says Maulana. This is the outcome of allowing women to choose their husbands. A filthy girl as this one challenges the court of Allah. I swear by Allah, if she is my daughter I will have broken her neck. Allah, says another Maulana, don't punish us for what the wicked among us have done. The courtman came forward again and announced the name of Hassan Mahjoub al-Hilali. When Hassan came he took his oath. Can you tell the court why your wife refused to live with you? Asks Maulana. Because she doesn't love me. Do you love her? Yes, I do. Are you physically fit to have a normal marriage life? Yes, I do. Do you have money to support your wife? Yes, I have. Thank you, Mr. Hassan. You can now go to your seat. When Maulana ended his interview with Hassan, he saw Salah put his hand up. Please put your hand down. We don't allow anyone to advise us in this court. I don't want to advise the court, but I want to tell the truth regarding the marriage in question. Keep your truth to yourself. The marriage contract is a false contract. You can't pass a judgment on the contract unless it is valid. Who are you to decide on the validity of the marriage's contract? Besides that, are you related to the girl? I am a lawyer and I know the girl and her family. We don't accept lawyers in this court, and if you have any objection refer it to the Ministry of Justice. Can you allow me to narrate to the court the history of Intisar and her sister Firdaus and their struggle with Hassan and his friends? Not in this court. Please sit down and keep your advices and stories to yourself. When Salah sat down, Maulana Abdul Mohsin started to consult his jury. After some whispering he came out with his judgment. In the name of Allah, says Maulana, the most merciful and the most compassionate. After carefully examining the dispute between Mr. Hassan Mahjoub al-Hilali with his lawful wife Intisar Ibrahim Mustafa Gabber, this court has decided to pass the obedience sentence on the wife. The obedience sentence must be executed on Intisar Ibrahim Mustafa Gabber within 24 hours. If any member of wife's family or relative or friend tries to hinder the police from transferring her to her husband's house, he or she will be imprisoned with 5 years. The said Sami Osman Al-Taib is sentenced to a month imprisonment starting from today. Court, shouts the courtman. When the court is over, no one is so disturbed and troubled in his heart than Salah. His conscience troubled him the more. For he held himself responsible of what had happened to Sami and Intisar. When Sami and Intisar received the two courts' invitation letters, they decided to run away, but Salah hindered them. He convinced them that by running away they will prove to the court that they are guilty. He advised them to attend the trial and fight their case. He further told them he will bring the case before the High Court if the Sharia court condemn them. But, after the trial is over, all his expectations are disappointed. He knew that Sami is in prison. Intisar will be taken by force to Hassan's house within 24 hours. If he should try to hinder the policeman, he will be held responsible for breaking the law. In that case, he will be charged of 5 years imprisonment. He is in serious dilemma. When everybody left the court, Salah remained sitting on his seat and putting his hands on his head. After some times, Walid approached him and requested him to come out of the court hall. He stood up and let Walid to lead him by the hand. When he reached out, he found Intisar is still weeping and surrounded by her mother, Mona, Badaria, and some unknown people. Walid stopped 2 taxis and gave their drivers Intisar's address. When the friends reached Intisar's house, they started to discuss the issue seriously. "What can we do for Intisar?" asks Mona. "I think we are helpless," says Walid. "You mean we have to give up and let those policemen come and take her by force to Hassan's house?" says Badaria. "Well, can we defy the law?" says Walid. "I didn't mean to say that," says Badaria. "Any attempt to help her will put us against the law," says Walid. "Even if we give up, I don't think Intisar will give up," says Mona. "I think we must hide Intisar somewhere until Sami comes out of jail. After that, the 2 friends can run away to another city," says Badaria. "That is what I thought of," says Mona, "but I think Hassan has hired some spies to watch over Intisar until the policemen come tomorrow and take her by force to his house." "You are right," says Badaria. "I saw them at the court, and when we took the cabs they followed us in another taxi. Most probably they will be standing outside and watching Intisar's movements," says Mona. "Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do for Intisar," says Oulad Hamza.